How are you doing? I just wanted to talk about the Devil's Call, the second episode of this new series of Doctor Who. Um, and I really enjoyed this episode. Again, like the first episode, I think it's very controversial because it's unlike anything else we've seen. And frankly, that's one of the main reasons that I love it. It's not my favorite episode ever, but I just really admire the bravery of Russell for not just repeating what he knows will be successful, and trying things that he's never tried before, and to be honest, just making the most of like the input of Disney. And I feel like he's finally able to execute ideas that he's had in his head for years, but he's just not had the facilities to put on screen and translate like as he'd want to. But yeah, I just really admire the contrast to anything we've seen before. I feel like the campness and the flamboyance and the musical aspect, it's always been a part of Doctor Who. So if you think it hasn't, then I have to disagree with you. Yes, it's never been played into as much as it is now, but this isn't. I don't think this is setting the scene for the entire era. I know there was that song in the Christmas special, and this was a musical episode, but I don't think it's going to be a theme for the entire series or era as a whole, because I think this was a musical episode. It was about the Beatles. It was about a goddess of music. So I feel like it's, if ever they're going to play into it, and we know that Russell and Murray Gold have always wanted to do something like this was the perfect opportunity for them to just have free reign and go for it. And I'm so happy they did. Yes, I would agree with the people who are scared about it going in this direction permanently, but the fact that I do think that this is just a one-off, or if it's not a one-off, I think it's going to be very sparse. Like, there was nothing hinting towards this in the Space Babies, for example. So I don't. The next episode with, obviously, I know it's written by Stephen Moffat, but thematically, it still has to fit in with the series as a whole. Yeah, because otherwise it's just not going to fit with the character arcs and this world that's been created by Russell initially. So I do think it's going to be a one-off, or at least very rare, and that's why I'm not scared at all. And I've got complete faith in Russell that he's not going to kind of abuse this direction, and that it's just going to be fun while it lasts. And then I think the rest of the series, the finale especially, I think it's going to get very, very dark. And I, for one, cannot wait to see the Doctor and Ruby really tested and put through their paces. Because, yeah, we kind of saw it briefly in this episode, with the Doctor being completely at a loss of how to overcome this being. And he was really, truly scared, like deep down vulnerable, which is something we very rarely see. But I think is something that's a bit more of a prominent character trait in this 15th Doctor, which I'm really enjoying. But yeah, I really enjoyed the contribution of the Beatles to the episode. I wish, to be honest, they were so well cast, and the actors they got. I know that they didn't look identical, but I'm less fussed about the looks if the performance they give is good. And I really liked the performance they gave. I think they were perfect for the roles, and it really made me feel for them and care for the characters, not just as the Beatles, but just care for them as people, And to be honest, I wish they just had more of an impact, because I feel like they were so good that they could have been made more of, if that makes sense. But still, while they were on screen, I absolutely loved them, and I really enjoyed the plot as a whole. To be honest, that music was being taken from the world, and these musical geniuses just wanted to churn out any old rubbish to make a living, and then retire essentially and live a normal life. I thought that was really clever, and heartbreaking, to see this kind of parallel universe to what we know and relate to. It was really weird and unsettling to see this contrast. I thought it was really cleverly done. Jinx Monsoon, I know it's very controversial, but I thought they played the perfect kind of cartoon villain. I thought it is Doctor Who, it is camp and flamboyant and out there, and Doctor Who always has been, in my opinion. I think it's just, yeah, you can't shy away from it. So I think the fact that they leaned into it is really brave and admirable, from Russell. And I just love to be honest, as in general, I hate musicals and like the over-the-top acting of theatre, but when it's this kind of self-aware over-the-top, and it's kind of to be scary, it's like they know they're over the top and they're playing into it for the purpose. I feel like it really, really worked. I thought Jinx was absolutely brilliant, and I thought the character was brilliant, and I hope we see more of them and more of just these legions of the toy maker, to be honest. So I think there's so much good material in there. Now that we've opened up the universe to kind of gods and this more fantastical elements that Russell's leaning into, I feel like there's so much potential there and some really exciting opportunities for the show to lean into. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing the rest of the series, to be honest. Now that we have this whole new universe opened up, it's really exciting for me personally. Yeah, the only thing that I flat out didn't like of this episode was the final musical number. I thought that was too far leaning into the musical aspect. A musical Doctor Who episode is one thing, and then just a flat out musical is another, to be honest. And that final scene was just like I was watching a musical. It didn't feel like Who anymore. But I'm not one of those people who are going to say that it ruined the entire episode, because it was 3 minutes out of a 45-minute episode, and the other 40 minutes were absolutely fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm not going to let that dampen my enjoyment for the entire thing, because I just really enjoyed it as a whole. And that Murray Gold cameo was so good to see. I'm so happy that he finally got a role to play on screen, and it felt kind of a part of history now, because he's contributed so much to this show, and I just love him as a composer in general. He's the works that man has come up with seriously have a special place in my heart. So I'm so glad that they finally got him on screen, that he's permanently going to have played a part now in the history of Doctor Who. I feel like that's just really special. But yeah, the Next Time trailer I was so excited for. I can't wait to see what Walter Moffat has come up with. It seems a lot darker, which I'm really looking forward to, because these first two have been very light-hearted, and fun and comedic in a way, and obviously theatrical and far out and fantastical. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing this grittier side of Ruby and the Doctor. And we know that Moffat does it so well. So I have complete faith in him. I trust him to deliver something amazing. Often he's come up with his best work when he's writing under someone else's reign. I think the pressure of him not having to run the entire show just allows him to be free and, yeah, enables him to come up with his best stuff a lot of the time. So, yeah, I can't express how excited I am for that. I'm really enjoying this series and the new era. I know it's divided a lot of people, but yeah, I'm just really interested to know your thoughts. Please, if you don't agree with me, tell me. I'm really intrigued to know what you think. Um, Please just keep. I just hope that it's friendly. That's all I ask. But yeah, let's have a discussion. Yeah, because I could talk about my favorite show until the end of time. Other than that, I'm going to probably watch the darts this evening. So if you're into the darts, I will hopefully talk to you about that then. If not, I will see you next week for the next episode of Doctor Who. Other than that, be well, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.